So I just took my milk thistle for the very first time and I am so excited. I did not think it would quite look like this. I don't know what I expected, but it's like, first off, don't smell it. It does not smell that great. Thankfully it doesn't taste bad or anything, but it doesn't smell the best. But like, yeah, it's like a brown pill. So I took 2 and at first I was really confused. So this is Puritan's Pride, and this was just recommended to me, so I bought it. If you're one of those weird people who get weird about soy being in some of your supplements, then obviously don't do this one. I will be finishing this bottle. It doesn't bother me that there's soy in this, but I could see where some people would be worried about long-term use of some supplements that have soy in it. But anyways, so basically, yeah, it's 250 milligrams of milk thistle extract, and so the extract is just the concentrated version of milk thistle. So you really, because at first I was like, why does it say 1,000 milligram equivalent? And then you get to the serving amount and it's one soft gel is 250 milligrams. So basically the extract is the equivalent to 1,000 milligrams of the whole herb. Basically the extract is like Silybum merinum seed, and yeah, so that's that. I didn't come on here to talk about milk thistle, but I'm really excited. I can't wait to see even like what it'll do for my like my acne. I read somewhere that for some people it helps them not to produce as much oil, so I would love to have less oily skin. But I want to talk about glutathione and basically its precursors and what it's made up of. And I actually just figured out today that I'm already taking some of the precursors, so in a part of my routine, thankfully, that I just got on when I started back up on glutathione, I figured out today that it has some of this stuff in it, and I'm very excited. So I'm just going to share it with you. So in case you didn't know, glutathione is a tripeptide, meaning that it's made up of 3 different amino acids, that being glutamate, cysteine, and glycine. So cysteine, you've probably heard a lot about. A lot of people talk about NAC, and that's just the N-acetylated cysteine, and so it's the same thing. Cysteine and NAC are the same. It would just be much of the same like glutathione and acetylglutathione. So obviously one is processed way better, so you could say it'd probably be even more potent. So basically, to increase your glutathione, you can take a precursor, and so the precursors are basically what the glutathione is made out of: the glutamate, the cysteine, and the glycine. So you could supplement any of those as well as taking your glutathione, and it's going to naturally help your body to make even more glutathione. And so your glutathione stores are going to go like way up. That's why people do this, not just because they want to take an extra pill, because like by this time, if you're on a skincare journey, like you're only taking like 1,000,000 pills, probably over 8. Just a lot. Like I didn't really want to add on milk thistle when I started my journey last year. I never tried milk thistle, but I'm now seeing, especially since I'm still drinking while on this journey, it's probably the smartest. I do as much as I can for my liver, and this is a detox. This is a complete detox and something you take every day, but also it helps people with like their acne, and milk thistle is great. So with cysteine, obviously I didn't want to add on another pill, but it looks like it could probably be of great benefit for me if I do. So I'm just working my way back up to taking tons and tons and tons of supplements again. I wanted to keep like my routine as easy as possible, so I wouldn't miss a day. I wouldn't get tired at night and just be like, oh, I'll do it later. I just wanted to just pop and go. It's getting more complex as the days go on. Remember, with the NAC is also cysteine. It's just the acetylated version, so it just means it's acetyl. Be careful with NAC, especially if you think you're going to megadose it. You cannot megadose cysteine. You should not. So don't megadose cysteine, don't megadose NAC. They're one and the same. Obviously one works better than the other, but like don't megadose either of them. It can cause like serious harm. Like we're talking internal bleeding, we're talking death, so don't do it. You should definitely just take whatever the recommended dosage is probably on your jar. I went back into my old Amazon order history, and I found the brand that I was on last year, and it's pretty much the brand I just reordered now because it has like a lot of capsules, and it's the Acetyl version, so it's NAC, and it also has like a pretty good amount of milligrams. So if you want to know like the specific science down of how much NAC you should be taking, you can go 14 milligrams of NAC per kg, or if you're in the US, do 6 milligrams per pound. So if you're 130 pounds, you're going to be, well, you can take up to 780 milligrams if you wanted to. You don't really have to. I think taking something that's 600 milligrams would be fine, because half of these pills aren't going to be like 700. Most of them are 600 and down. There are some people who take more, like 1200, but usually they're taking it 12 hours like apart and spaced apart, and I don't think they're doing it for long term. They're doing it because they have other ailments, and it's just a part of a routine that they're on for maybe a week. It's just like short term. So honestly, I wouldn't mess around with it. I would just do the 600 or less and call it a day. So yeah, I'm doing the NutriCost, and that's the brand I already used last year when I was doing, you know, my very elaborate routine. And basically it's just $17, and it has 180 capsules, and it's 600 milligrams per pill. So this is gonna last me for basically forever. So yeah, at first I was like, oh, $17, but yeah, it's kind of the best. Like, it's the same with the milk thistle. So this milk thistle, the Puritan Pride, like I said, if you're one of those people who are like, oh, it has soy in it, I don't want to take it because soy, obviously I'm just going to finish this one. I'm not too worried about it. But this is one of the cheaper ones. I think this was only $10. If you look at the other ones that are soy free, it's usually, it starts at, I think the cheapest one I saw was like $14 or so. When I list the ones, I'll probably list the more expensive ones, the ones that don't have soy. So the NAC, the $17, 180 capsules, if I just take one a day, that's like 180 days. It makes sense to me. Also, you might find that L-cysteine is huge in the hair loss industry. It's basically, everyone's like jumping on the bandwagon as it's like this miracle supplement that regrows hair. So don't be surprised if your hair gets thicker, or if you start like regrowing your hair like around like your edges or any like thinning spots that you might have, because people have noticed that this happens. And basically it's just because L-cysteine is actually a building block for keratin. So my battery definitely died, but I've switched it out. So the cool thing I was going to say that I figured out with the codeage collagen, basically they've changed up their packaging and everything, and so now they have like their full amino acid I guess chart on the back, just showing you what amino acids are in it. And now I've noticed glutamine is in the codeage collagen, as well as what else? Glycine. Oh, actually, well, okay, this is where it gets weird. So you'll see glutamine and glutamic acid. Basically, they're kind of the same thing. I think glutamine shows up as glutamic acid when it's metabolized. So you'll see on the codeage thing, it says it has glutamic acid, but it is kind of glutamine. I haven't really figured out if it's still as potent, if it's still as strong, or whatnot, but yeah, I was a little confused on that because I was like, yeah, they kind of sound the same, but not really. But yeah, so it has glutamic acid as well as glycine in it, and then 15 other amino acids. So it's also helping me to make yeah, my own natural glutathione, and I'm very excited about that. Last night I started taking 2 scoops. I would recommend just taking 1 maybe, or if you're gonna try to work up to taking 2 scoops, because you really don't need 2 scoops. This was just me being greedy. Yeah, just 1 scoop, because like your stomach might need to like adjust, so it might give you an upset stomach. And basically it feels like if you've ever worked your way up to taking like a lot of vitamin C, like a lot of vitamin C, it kind of makes it a little bloated. You might have some gas, things like that. So it's up to you if you want to do the 2 scoops. I don't think it would stay like that forever. Like for $34 for a tub, usually it lasts for like a few months, so I guess I shouldn't be in like such a rush to finish my tub, but I just thought I'd throw that out there. Don't be surprised if you're like, well, even if you're just getting on it for the first time, because I think when I first started it, my body had to get used to it. So I was just surprised with the 2 scoops. My body was just like, what's this?